Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this. I am Samuel Ojile, and I figured a lot of people have been asking about the Facebook monetization policy. It's something you can easily access, and in this video, I'm going to explain the content monetization policies one by one. So, let's dive in. You can see, yeah, Facebook offers features and products that help creators and publishers earn money from their content. This content has to follow certain rules. Yeah, so these are the rules. Starting from the prohibited content, you can read all this when you find it. Your content itself must follow these guidelines in order to be eligible for certain monetization products. So you have to reach a certain benchmark to um, monetize your content. These are the prohibited formats: static videos, content that contains one static image and little to no motion. That is, if you post a picture and as a video, right? A picture, just one picture that has no movement. They are called static videos. So avoid posting those kind of things. Those kind of things don't allow Facebook place ads, and the algorithm doesn't allow them to show it to many audience. Static image posts, content posted for the sole purpose of increasing engagement by asking people to react to questions posed by the content. So there are some people that make posts yes or no, that demands yes or no, different answers: female, male, 90%, 50%. All those kind of poll contents that are static. Just ask a question line, you just want people to engage with the content. Facebook does not monetize those kind of content. You can use it if you just want to create engagement, but it doesn't follow content monetization policies. Slideshows of images, so you have different images and you just post them as a slideshow. Some people post it on TikTok, but for Facebook it doesn't work. Content that primarily displays static images played in succession. The image is just going, just coming one after the other. It doesn't work here. Looping videos, content that loops and displays the same segment multiple times. Looping content can include GIFs and content of varying lengths. So looping videos are those ones that repeat. You see someone make a movement like throw a kiss, right? And in few seconds you still see that video happen again. That kiss is thrown multiple times. Those are looping videos. And if you are familiar with what GIFs are, they are used as memes most times, and they do not meet the content monetization policies. Text montages, content that primarily displays still or moving images with overlaid text. So you just have an image that is not that is still, or even though it's moving, right, moving as a video, and you have text moving about the video. Maybe you are saying something in the video and you have the captions moving. The see it Facebook see it as ads. You can see it as ads, right? So there's no need allowing that content to also contain another ad. What Facebook is targeting mostly is, can your content carry another advert? So if you are already advertising on your content, what is the need of Facebook placing another ad on your content? So Facebook wants to also place ads on your content. People run ads on Facebook, and from time to time it pops up during videos. I know you may have watched videos that within 5 minutes, that may be 30 minutes long, and within 5 minutes you see ads pop up, or 15 minutes, half the video you see ads pop up, and you must finish playing it before it moves to the next. Those kind of contents meet the content monetization policies, and that's why you are seeing those ads in them. You see it with skit makers videos, right? So there's no magic about it. Embedded ads, content that already includes embedded pre-roll, mid-roll, post-roll or banner ads where Facebook offers ad placements. For example, a video that includes manually inserted mid-roll ads is ineligible for in-stream ads. So if you are making your video, you are creating your content, don't place ads for people in your content. Don't place ads for people in your content, especially where you know that Facebook also places their ads. So they can't put an ad on an ad. It's it is tiring. Imagine you are watching a video and that video has an ad and Facebook places an ad. I mean, you are going there to be entertained, to learn something or whatever, and then you are seeing multiple ads. It won't be suiting to you, and this is what they are also considering. Prohibited behaviors. The following behaviors cannot monetize: engagement baits. These are behavioral restrictions now. Engagement baits, where you want people to engage with the content, like please like, please subscribe, all those kind of stuff. Content that incentivizes people to click a link or respond to a post through likes, comments, or shares. So avoid. How many times did I say it? 3 times. Avoid saying please like, please comment, please share, right? Don't do that on your post. You can go to the comment section and do that, right? But don't do that on your post. Facebook is going to see that post and even restrict the audience that will see it. So in your bid of creating content, don't be so needy for likes and comments or shares that you now put it on your content, say your video or even the text that follows the video as caption. So the sitting engagement. Okay, let's see this one. Content that requests compensation in exchange for extreme behavior, such as, okay, before I move to that one, this engagement bit also includes those that incentivizes people mean you are giving people money to do something for you, say to like, to comment, or to share, or you say the first 10 people that will comment or that will like, we get this, we get that. That is, you are incentivizing people. Avoid it. Then this soliciting engagement, content that requests compensation in exchange for extreme behavior, such as consumption of inedible substances, showing graphic content, consumption of drugs, tobacco, or alcohol, and disrobing or other sexual behavior. So when you ask for compensation, that you request compensation in exchange for this kind of extreme behavior, no, they are extreme behavior. You are consuming inedible substance. Like you see people make videos and they are consuming things that they shouldn't consume, like say rubber or hair, or those kind of very extreme stuff. Showing graphic content includes images of, say, someone that was shot, or people that are burnt. Those are graphic content. When you post those kind of images, Facebook don't even allow it. They will even warn you that it goes against their policy, don't post. But if you go ahead, they will restrict the audience view, right? So before you see those kind of content, you must click that you want to see the graphic content before they'll show it to you. So you should avoid posting graphic content like that too. Consumption of drugs, tobacco, or alcohol. Say you are consuming alcohol, like you are doing a challenge and you are consuming alcohol or tobacco, and then you are now asking people to compensate you for that in any way, whatever way that compensation is coming. Distrobing or other sexual behavior. Distrobing means nakeding yourself. That is the best way I can put it for a layman. Like making your going naked, right, is disrobing or other sexual behavior. Avoid it because those are extreme behaviors on Facebook. Then let's move to the next one. This one is for restricted categories. Content that depicts or discusses subjects in the following categories may face reduced or restricted monetization. What are these categories? Debated social issues. So Facebook defines debated social issues as social issues that may provoke debate, such as personal, civil, or political rights. Content may be subject to reduced or disabled monetization if it depicts or discusses the following subjects in a polarizing or inflammatory manner. So we are talking about content that goes against social behaviors, political rights. When you are coming online to say something about the government, those kind of content can be censored. And when they are saying those things with regards to race, gender, national origin, age, like you come on Facebook and you start saying this gender is better than this gender, people that are transgender should be burnt, those kind of things. Facebook doesn't allow it and they won't monetize your content. National origin, age, political affiliation, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, like I just gave an example. Socioeconomic class, religion, immigration, legitimacy of elections. So let me just go down one by one. Race, you are talking about blacks, whites, um, uh, the Eskimos, whatever race that you are talking about, and you are saying it in an inflammatory manner or polarizing means you are on one end and the race that you are criticizing are on another end, and you are placing them on the you are painting them in the bad picture, right? So avoid those kind of posts, whether you are a black person or you are a white person or you belong to any other race. Avoid those kind of posts. Gender, talk about another gender in another in a bad light. It's not correct. National origin, you talk about a country and say, for instance, the men from this country are this. You use stereotypical examples, you use stereotypical statements in those posts, in those videos. Those kind of content will be restricted. Age, you talk about people of different ages, women, men of different ages. You become someone going against. There's something. You start going against the content monetization policies when you talk about the age of people in different lights, say even for women or men. Political affiliation, you talk about different political parties or a group in a bad light, right? Or you just come to talk about your own political party in a good light, as if they are the best, right? And that can be indirectly mean that you are saying that the other political party are not doing well. So you avoid those kind of posts. Also, you can praise a person who is a politician, right? But then to now start mentioning political affiliations, canvassing for votes in that kind of light. Ethnicity, talk about different ethnic groups like the Efik, the Igbo, the Yorubas. You talk about one tribe as um in extreme lights for whatever behavior, even including cooking, their women, their men, their behavior. Those are stereotypes. Disability, you um, judge people based on their disability. Sexual orientation, based on their sexual orientation, and you come online to say it. Socioeconomic class, based on their economic class, the rich, the poor, the middle class, even if anything exists like the middle class anymore. Religion, you talk about religious people, different religion, and you shade one in the bad light or blame a religion for certain crimes or certain atrocities that happen in the society. Immigration, you talk about people who are immigrating to your country in a bad light, or people who are immigrants elsewhere. Legitimacy of elections, you start making rules that do not even follow the um country rules, or you start deceiving people about elections and voting a candidate in a country, whatever it may be, with fake data, fake news. Those kind of things will be prohibited, and it may lead you to bans. Content that exploits controversial political or social issues for commercial purposes is restricted. from monetization. So avoid those kind of things. Those people that have Facebook accounts that are already monetized, they are walking on tightropes, right? Because it doesn't end at just knowing this. You have to always come back to review to make sure that your content are following the 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 policies, right? Because you may go wrong one time without knowing it, without these things. You can forget some of these things, and no matter how little it is, Facebook will be able to track it. Tragedy or conflict. Facebook defines strategy or conflict as physical or emotional distress such as death, injury, abuse, illness, or destructive events. Depictions or discussions of these subjects, either real or fictional, may affect monetization for your content. So even if their algorithm may not pick it immediately, if it gets to be picked, let's say imagine you are already monetized and you are earning already, and the algorithm now finds it out one time, maybe when you are in the middle of your success, you're already having followers, but you have this content somewhere, they can just restrict your account, ban your account. And that is what you see with content creators. They also go through all these uncertainties. So you always have to review their content monetization policies, because you are using their solutions. You are using their solutions. You should always learn how to read policies, terms and conditions of solutions that you are using to avoid bans. A lot of people get banned from um, this kind of accounts because we hardly read people hardly read policies, terms and conditions. It happens on PayPal, it happens on different platforms. Okay, let's continue. However, content that depicts or discusses this subject in an explicitly uplifting manner may still be eligible for monetization. Like what I've said, if it's uplifting. So you that is, if you are saying something about tragedy or conflict in a good light, like you are educating people about the dangers of physical or emotional distress, right? Or to avoid situations that lead to death, injury, or abuse. It is what uplifting. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't talk about it, but you should make sure that it is in a good light. Don't elicit it. Don't um to elicit means to influence people to cause tragedy or conflict, for instance, or death or injury or abuse to others. Examples of this content include death, physical injury, mental disabilities, illness, physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, property damage. Let's go to the next one. Are you ready? Objectionable activity. We define objectionable activity as substance use, abuse, or crimes. Depictions or discussions of these subjects, either real or fictional, may affect monetization for your content. So, what are these objectionable activities? Substance abuse, threats, advocating for harm. In any way you are advocating for harm, even though you think that you are on the right path, right? If you're advocating for someone to be harmed, as far as you're advocating for a human being to be harmed, even an animal to be harmed on Facebook, and you may think that you are making sense because you have your own reasons. Another person has their reason for that human being or for that animal not to be harmed. So avoid anything that advocates for harm. Trafficking, theft, vandalism, trespassing. Vandalism is property destruction, stuff like that. Trespassing, taking over people's property without their permission. Corruption, fraud, bribery, insider trading. This happens with traders, companies, forest companies, crypto people, you know the financial market, especially. Embezzlement, hacking, copyright infringement, judicial proceedings. So this copyright infringement is one a whole lot of discussion on its own, because when you infringe on people's copyright, it means you are using their products, their solutions, their creations without their permission. So if you are using people's um, product or creations without their permission, and you are you are expecting to sell it, right? Because monetization, the whole idea about monetization is about selling. So you are using people's content or products or creations, and you expect to sell it. You can't pass the content monetization policies. So we restrict the monetization of content that promotes the sale or misuse of illegal prescription or recreational drugs. Judicial proceedings, you know what that are. Judicial proceedings concern things about law, about the court. Sexual or suggestive activity. We define sexual or suggestive content within the examples below. Content may face reduced or disabled monetization if it contains this subject matter. Depictions or discussions of these subjects, either real or fictional, may affect monetization for your content. So, what are these kind of sexual activities or suggestive activity? Nudity, where you go naked. Sexual activity, these things may happen on TikTok and they may be accepted. Their rules are different from the rules of Facebook. So you come on Facebook and you are new that you want to monetize your content, it's not possible. You can do it on TikTok and they'll allow you. Sexual activity, sexual poses. You see that? I know that Facebook algorithm works well with this kind of things, but sometimes they may miss it. So even if they miss it, it doesn't make you shouldn't feel comfortable, right? Because one day they might just hit up on your profile when it is growing and they be like, this account has entered this um status of growth, and then they are reviewing your account to see if it meets up with it, and then they see all this kind of posts. You may be restricted. Suggestive dancing, you are dancing but you are dancing seductively. Simulations of sexual activity, you are simulating sexual activity, but you may not be using you may not be doing that with the human body, right? But you are using items, materials that are found around you, plastic or whatever, but you are simulating sexual activities. Sexual objects like dildos, right? You are using those things in your content. Suggestive language, you are using suggestive language but you are not direct. You're not direct, but you are using suggestive language. You see some people using putting star when they write F and K at the end. That's a suggestive language. If Facebook starts tracking that down, you know that your content may not be monetized. So even avoid those kind of words in the first place instead of trying to hide them. So some people try to hide them in their content by using exclamation marks, like exclamation marks and other other kind of punctuations to hide the words, right? Or shadow them. But if they are discovered, you still stand the risk of losing your rights to monetization. Revealing or absent items of clothing. Revealing or absent items of clothing. That is still suggesting nude poses. We restrict the monetization of gratuitous nudity, depictions of people in explicit positions, or activities that are overly suggestive or sexually provocative. Then you use strong language. Use strong language. We define strong language as profanity, derogatory words, or vulgar sexual language, like I've mentioned here, where you hide these kind of languages, but as suggestive language. But if you use them directly, that is what they are referring to as strong language. Content may face reduced or disabled monetization if it contains this language, either spoken, written, or otherwise represented. So they are otherwise represented, you may think that you are very wise and you want to use other ways to pass this message. In the long run, Facebook might discover those other ways. That is why they put otherwise, so that their policy can cover for that tactics that you may develop in the future. You understand? So whether you are speaking it, you are saying you are using F words, you are writing them in your posts, Facebook will track it. So those words may be used for profanity, derogatory words, sexual words, innuendos, crude gestures, and vulgar motions. We restrict the monetization of hate speech. I don't want to click on this, but hate speech is when when you are making statements or speeches that insult another person and show your dislike for the other person. A lot of people, they do it on Instagram, right? But on Facebook, your content will not be monetized. And most of the times, people who do this hate speech of the thing, they use pidgin, and pidgin may not really capture the essence of hate speech. But when you start making hate speeches, even for against your government, and it is found that the thing about content monetization policies is the 11th rule, which is thou shalt not be caught. Thou shalt not be caught. So you may try to escape to certain extent, but once the algorithm catches up with you, your content monetization, even though it's in progress, may be restricted. Explicit content. We define explicit content as injury, gore, or bodily functions or conditions. Content may not be monetized if it displays or discusses gore. So, like I've said before, in one of these um in one of the explanations, when I said something about graphic content, if their graphic content is gory, is showing blood, is showing dysfunctional body parts in ways that make people to cringe their faces, for instance, wounds, infections, bodily fluids, medical procedures, food processing that may look irritating, right? Extreme body modification, bodily functions. Ingesting substance is not intended for consumption. You have said something about this before. Ingesting nauseating substances, anything that makes people to ish, right? Decay, infestation, please avoid them. Prohibited categories. The following types of content are ineligible to monetize. Misinformation. Don't lie. Once it is rated false by fast checkers, which could even include your followers. Misleading medical information. When you say something that is not medically proven or scientifically correct or accurate. It is not also limited to anti-vaccination claims, so avoid misleading medical information. You can learn more on this and learn how to submit an appeal. Yeah, this information is helpful to us. Yes, I found what I was looking for. And you may also always come back to the policies so that you can resolve an issue. To resolve an issue may include going to edit your content or even delete it, right? So if you already have gone against the policy, you can either go and delete or edit your content. Understand? To retain the the engagement on that content. I'm not going to write anything for this. So that is it. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you come back for more. Yeah, 5 satisfied. Bye bye.